Hey guys, welcome to my live looping rig rundown. In this 6-part series, I'm going to go from everything from why I chose to build the template I did for what I do live, all the way to what hardware I use and the effects I use that are all built in side of Loopy and other AUV3s. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about why I built the template that I did. For a couple years, I was using specific song templates for each song. This was great because I was able to bring in all these preloaded samples and cue them up as I needed. It was really cool to bring in other voices and all that stuff. I really loved it, but there were a couple problems with that. One, I had programmed in all of these different follow actions. Really cool. I was dancing less on the stage. The issue was I didn't remember live what I did with follow actions and what I didn't do. So sometimes I would press the wrong button and instead of going to the chorus, it would go to the pre-chorus or the bridge. And it was very, very confusing. I didn't have a good system for it. So I found myself thinking on stage more than I was playing. The second thing was this awkward lag time. I used the setlist feature, really awesome. But when it would go from one song to the next, sometimes my AUV3s would take a couple seconds to load up. You don't want that time. You want to queue up and go. I played at a couple places that provide the PA system for you, which is awesome. It usually is way better than what I have. The issue is sometimes my settings, my guitar, there might be a certain frequency where I'm like, I got to cut that down. Maybe it's like 80 hertz and it's causing that feedback, that rumble. So if I have tons of different tracks, every time I open up that track, I have to go back and I have to adjust that live. That's just not doable. That was something that I dealt with a lot. And then my volume issues. If I would adjust one volume, let's say I adjust a compressor or I adjust some kind of gain setting on my beats, well, that is only for that specific Loopy file, that template. So now when I get to my new one, I'm going to have to do the same thing. That was a big challenge. The fourth reason was I wanted something more organic. I wanted something that if I wanted to loop something on the fly, I could. And when I would define my set list, let's say the night before, that was what it had to be because I had a button that would say next song and it would go to the next song in the set list. It wasn't very organic. If I saw a person liked a certain song and I wanted to bring in something that was very similar, that would take me, 30 seconds to a minute to find that song and cue it up. And finally, setup time. This was a big one. I wanted to simplify. When I was gigging out maybe once a month, I would have a MIDI keyboard. I would have another MIDI controller. I would have a whole separate stand to the right of me where I would be able to bring in these sub-bass sounds, piano sounds, do all kinds of really cool stuff. Well, as I started getting more and more gigs, I realized, wow, this is a lot to set up every night. And my return on my investment wasn't great. So I was able to figure out a way that I could bring in some bass yet without having to have my MIDI keyboard next to me. So I wanted something simple. I wanted to bring out a pedal board, a mic with my iPad on the stand, and I wanted to make sure that I could have this set up in 10 to 15 minutes and be ready to sound check. And with this template and with this current setup, I accomplished just that. So those are the 5 reasons that I chose to do a main template rather than a song template. Now, I'm not saying the song template's bad. That works for a lot of people, and there's a lot of amazing artists out there using that specific method. And it worked for me for a little bit. And if you go back and watch some of my YouTube videos from the early on, some of those videos had the song templates built in where I had a specific song template made for that particular song with all kinds of samples and certain effects built up. But moving forward, when you see a video that I post, it's going to be using this very template for now. That's the beautiful thing about Loopy. It's always evolving. In fact, just this morning, I changed one more thing on my template here, and I can do that just one time. And I don't have to go through and make that adjustment to all of them. So I'm sure a month down the road, I'll be making template changes to this, but I only have to do it once. I'm going to lay the groundwork for my philosophy, my theory behind what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and leave it open to say, this isn't done. It never will be done, because Michael over there at A Tasty Pixel, he's never done, and he's always coming up with something cooler, more creative, and more applicable to what us live loopers do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, there's 5 more videos in this series that's going to walk you through the template, my effects, and the hardware I'm using to achieve what I do live. Thanks, guys.